Hello my friends and welcome to part 11 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Solomon deck overview. Okay, so I'll go through this one first. This is another take on Plunder Patrols, combining Element Sabers this time. It's called the Element of Water and Pirates, and the deck description reads, some of the effects of the Plunder Patrol cards can be further utilized by taking advantage of the attributes of monsters on the opponent's field or in their graveyard. Try sending cards in the opponent's hand to the graveyard with the effect of Moonlight Glacier, the Elemental Lord, or drag down into the grave. By the time you have a lineup of powerful Plunder Patrol monsters on your field, you can use the effect of Palace of the Elemental Lords to have increased attack and defense. When you're ready, launch an all-out assault. Another cool thing about the Element Sabers, if I have this correct, I'm not sure if the cards like if the summoning an attribute applies to my opponent's cards. Yeah, it looks like it does. And my opponent was playing the actually, even if my opponent was playing Element Sabers, it really wouldn't work all that well because this only counts for cards on the field, the ones that like special summon something based on attributes. I don't think any of the other cards really like care about my attributes. So yeah. I mean, the more or less they're, I don't know. Like, they don't really mash too well together. Like, because I don't think there's, like, really a lot of synergy between the, Plunder Patrols and the, Element Sabers. Although, it is nice that the Plunder Patrols are waters. It will help get the Moonlight Glacier out a little bit quicker, maybe. But like they wouldn't have like a really hard time of bringing out the Elemental Lords anyway. So I'm not sure if this is like the coolest mashup ever, like because like there's not really a ton of synergy, I don't think. But I guess the fact that like both of them want to be in the graveyard is something. Because the Element Sabers ultimately want to be in the graveyard because that's where they can like change the attributes and give an attack boost with the Palace. Yeah, with that very first sense right there. And then the Plunder Trolls have effects when they're sent from the monster hand to the graveyard, so card destruction can work well for both. But yeah, definitely not like the biggest of synergies, I would say. And then Foolish Barrel can work well for saying both Plunder Patrols or Element Sabers, I guess. It's whichever one you want. Although Reinforcement will only add the Element Sabers, which isn't like too big of a deal. Yeah. I don't know. I suppose that's like true of like other decks too, like where they may not like serve the highest synergy. Like how synergistic is, well, I mean, Scareclaws and like one like mix that I'm like doing is Scareclaws and Tri-Brigades, and they work well together because they're like the most of them are of the tri-typing that the Tri-Brigades want. So, yeah. I mean, the only cards I really aren't is like the right card, which is still really good for like adding the Scareclaws spell traps, and then Visas. And also kind of sucks that like both of the end plays basically don't want you special summoning like anything other than themselves at the very end. So like you kind of have to decide, like, do you want to like go all in with the Scareclaw Link 3, or do you want to go all in searching the Tri-Brigade Revolt Fortunately, if you already have the revolt, you don't really have to make the decision. But if you don't have the revolt, you kind of have to like kind of make a little bit of a tough decision there. And then another thing is like, well, like if you can go into at least if you can go into Scareclaw Link 3 first. I'm kind of getting off topic, but I want to talk about this a little bit. If you can go into Scareclaw Link 3, like the actual summon doesn't keep you from like continuing with your Trap Gate plays if you like can still like go into all of those. So I don't know, like but it is kind of tough sometimes. Anyway, enough of that. Just want to talk about another kind of mix. I don't know. Just thought it was cool to talk about a little bit about that. Yeah. I don't think there's like much to say. Groza is one we already saw before. This is also one that allows you to discard your monsters, so it can help you put your monsters into a graveyard. This is kind of a new card. This probably works better with Mathmex, but like its effects outside of Mathmex can still be pretty good. I think it's a little bit easier to make in Mathmex, but you can still like go for this if you're able to bring out enough level 4s. But you probably would rather just bring out your Pluntrol cards instead, like most of the time. Like I don't think I ever like brought that out. I didn't even realize that was like one of the targets. I forgot about all about that. Shows how much it really matters. And then number 68, how are you even supposed to bring that out? Like, because you only have one level 8. So I don't get it. What are they even thinking with this one? That's weird. Oh, you know what? It's because the synchros and the synchro and the fusions are level 8. These are all level 8. Still, I never like went into this. Although it does have a fairly good effect. Neither player can special monsters from the graveyard. Which I don't think you're really like doing a ton of anyway. Like the only like one that you would care about specifying from the graveyard, I think, is like pretty much this one. But that's not that big of a deal. And then Brute Enforcer is like one of the other new ones. Which allows you, which is another like way, like discard outlet. So like that's another way to get monsters into the graveyard basically. And then even if you're not able to get the negation, wait no, to get the destroy of a face-up card, I mean the biggest part is that you're getting a monster into a graveyard. And then you're either triggering one of your Pluntrol effects or like you're getting one of your Element Sabers into the graveyard, so maybe you can like set up for the Moon Glacier. Yeah. But you do kind of gotta be worried about like Palace of the Elemental Lords, because like you don't really want to be skipping your battle phase too much in this deck. Though, like, now that I think about it, Element Sabers plus Runics might be kind of a interesting mix. Then like the Palace like setback doesn't really matter, since you don't really care too much about your battle phase in a Runic deck anyway, since all of the quick plays are basically having like you skip your battle phase anyway. Like the strategy of that more is to like just mill out your opponent. So that could be an interesting mix. If anyone tried that, they can let me know what they think about that mix. Just another thing that I thought about. Anyway, I'm gonna move on to the next one. This one is called Excavating Pirates, and this deck description reads: this deck aims to send monsters in the opponent's deck to a graveyard by utilizing effects such as Needle Worm. in order to make it easier to activate the effect of Plunder Patrol cards. Monsters sent to opponent's graveyard can be used to activate effects such as Fiend Griefing and Monster Rebone. Oh, they're using my monsters against me? Oh, wow, yeah. The monsters that they send to the graveyard of the effects that they're using against me. Oh. So, Fiend Griefing can shuffle one of my monsters back, and then Monster Reborn can special summon one of my monsters onto their field. Interesting. So yeah, this is basically a mill deck. Although nowadays I think the Runics make for much better mill cards. So yeah. And I'm not like even like really sure how synergistic it is to like combo mill with Pluntrel. Although like it doesn't like usually matter all the time. Like, as long as it's not like too anti-synergistic, I think it's okay like to sometimes just have fun with it. Although I think like most of the time if you want to do well, you kind of want to try to find like the most synergistic like combination. Like if you don't want to play it pure, maybe find the most synergistic combination. Although I guess most of the time, like the stuff that people mix with a thing, like aren't necessarily like the most. I mean, sprites work well with frogs because like it's mainly a rank 2 engine anyway, and the sprites work well with level 2s. So yeah, that's good. But there are probably like mixes that like don't have as much in common. But like I feel like there's still like reasons like so I just don't think like if your main strategy isn't mill, like I'm not sure if it's like really worth it to put in mill cards like to make it meta, because like mill's not usually a meta way of doing it. And if you're planning to do mill, like the Runics are generally better anyway. But you don't really want to mix the Runics with a lot of things because like because you don't really want to give up your battle phase. I mean, I guess since the deck out like is so good, as long as you play it right, like deck out is pretty valuable with the Runics, especially since it like banishes them. And as long as you're not like just facing against a deck that just completely benefits off of the banishes, like Metaphys, which most of the time you won't be. And if you are, maybe like don't play Runics. So yeah, stuff like that. Like I don't know. Someone can let me know what they think about like how like hybrid decks, like if you think there should be rules with how hybrid decks should be, or if like if it's completely fine just to have fun with it, like even if you're like going into tournaments with it. Anyway, I'm gonna go into this and talk about the mix. I'm not gonna like be like talking much based on like competitive, cause I don't think these were like meant to be the most competitive anyway. They just wanted to like see what they could do. Konami wanted to like show off cool ways you can go about deck building. Anyway, so yeah, basically mill with plum trolls. And not really much synergy. the worms are kind of doing their own things, and then these guys are kind of doing their own things. And they don't even really work with the whole Aztecapede thing. The plum trolls, because they're all fiends. Or the Doom Dozer, because once again they're all fiends, and even the X-Deck monsters. I mean, you could. Oh, you're not running any insects in the graveyard anyway. So yeah, these are pretty like two separate strategies just mashed together. It feels like, more or less. Kind of like the kind of similar to the Element Sabers actually too. Like because like those Element Sabers don't really have a lot of synergy with the Plum Trolls anyway. I guess that's kind of like my opinion. I just like it when like you can combine two archetypes and they actually have synergy for each other. I like it when it's like that. I don't really like building decks when like I can't really find synergy. But yeah, maybe that is just me. Like for example, I like the Scareclaws plus the Tribe Gates, because most of the Scareclaws actually have synergy with the Tribe Gates, because if nothing else, after I send the Scareclaws to the graveyard, I can still banish them in order to special summon my Tribe Gate links. Because it doesn't matter that if they're not Tribe Gates, as long as they're like Beast Warriors, or Wing Beasts. And the kind of the same, and the reason I like besides the fact that I like frogs a lot, I also like frog sprites a lot. I mean, because it's also because it was a good deck, like, don't get me wrong, but also I really like it because because it really helps complete the level 2. Like, the same reason why I like Paleozoic frogs so much, because like they're all level 2s. I just like the fact that the level 2s, and it's even better that the Paleozoics also happen to be waters, which feels good as well. I don't know, I just like synergy. Although occasionally, like, I may not be the most synergistic and still be okay, like Dangers. Although Dangers are still pretty good with the frogs, because they can discard the Paleozoics, and Paleozoics don't mind being in the graveyard. Although the same can be said for here, because like the insects don't necessarily mind being in the graveyards, because they can be banished with the Aztecapede or the Doom Dozer, and the Plum Trolls can have effects when they're sent from the hand to the graveyard. So yeah, I mean, so like kind of the same can be said there. And like getting material off of Rebone can also be useful, because then because then my opponent can go into some of the X deck plays, and and these mill cards can help ensure that the Rebone is live as soon as possible. So yeah, okay, it is some synergy. So I don't know. I guess it's like, I don't know. I think I do prefer when like there's like more synergy. When I can get more synergy, that does feel good. Like, but you can let me know what you think about like how much synergy do you want to like find when you're like trying to mix up different archetypes? Do you care if it's not like very synergistic, or do you want it to be like very synergistic? Do you have more fun when it's like highly synergistic, when like all the cards are working together, or if you're fine with like if they're not exactly working together perfectly, but they're working together well enough? I don't know. I feel like that's a good question too. And the reason I don't have these in pools is because I like the image pools more. Because like, I mean, like I heard from one video, I may like post, I may not, but just in case I don't, I won't go into too much detail. But I did see from one video that like image pools tend to do a lot better because they take up more room, and so they get people's attention like that. And I feel like that makes sense because like that's one of the reasons why billboards are so big, is because like big billboards, it helps get people's attention. Like if you had a smaller billboard, maybe you wouldn't get as many people's attention. Yeah, I think like when it comes to like advertising, this is kind of like a way of like advertising like my channel at the same time as like just engaging my audience. And since it's kind of like some kind of like advertising scheme, I don't mind taking up a little bit more space. Maybe I can like go with like more variety of stuff once I get like a lot of subscribers. Maybe once I get like enough subscribers so I can actually put on ads. But until then, I'll stick with what I'm doing. Because if it's working a little bit, I'll take it. Even if it's just working a little bit. Anyway, I'll finish off the deck. Some new cards here. This is one that allows you to mill the top 5 cards of your deck. This also allows you to add a light or dark, which I'm not really running any lights or darks in my main deck, so I wouldn't really be able to like grab anything, but still like it gets stuff in my graveyard for the Doomdos and Aztecapede. It won't trigger in my Plum Trolls, but it will at least like maybe get the Golden Hand in the graveyard, so I can get that graveyard effect too. And then Masquerade is another one that takes 3 level 4s. It negates effects. This one also mills. Yeah. So I think it pretty much has like so I'm playing it for some of those same reasons I'm playing the Chaos Ruler, just another mill base card. And then the Fire Traumas, running most of them, all except the dark. It's because even if I don't have I'm a little bit more likely to get the right attribute with the Monster Bone, since I can also like if I don't have the right attribute on my field, I can always take hopefully the right one from my opponent's field. Oh, and I guess also like grabbing wait, actually no, that doesn't really work. Never mind, because like they still have to be on their field in order to like be able to go into different stuff. Anyway. Oh yeah, and then Resonance Insect is like how I can grab some of my insects, especially that Doomdozer. Oh wait, no, that's for my opponent. Well, you know, can just replace my with like the opponents. It doesn't really matter. Still like pretty much the same information. Yeah, I'm gonna finish this off and then I'll go into a pack opening here. So I'll try to go a little bit quicker. This one's called Knights and Pirates. This is the deck description is Noble Knight monsters are fire warrior type monsters that excel at tactics involving equip cards. The tactics of Plum Troll cards also use equip cards, so they have some surprising synergy. For example, the effect of Noble Knight Emperor Charles that destroys cards on the field, and the effect of Plum Troll Party that replaces cards in your hand can expand your range of strategies. I wonder if the deeper you go, the more synergistic the two archetypes that they mash become, or if this is just a coincidence that these two happen to be really synergistic versus the element sabers that like weren't all too synergistic, because the fact that these both use equip cards, this is definitely a more synergistic archetype to combine with the Plunder Patrols than um than like the element sabers. So maybe like the deeper you go, like the like basically the more realistic the mixes become, like, or something like that, the more synergistic, however you want to say it, or if this is just coincidence, I don't know. I'm not sure, but if anyone like did realize did has been thinking about that, and like, or like maybe like has proof, or like knows that like that is how it is, it can feel free to let me know. But I don't think I'm gonna really look into it because I don't really care that much. Although I did find it interesting. And then once again, the reinforcement is here because the Noble Knights are also warriors. So it's at least nice that like when you are able to play a searcher for like most of your monsters. Um, and then DDR is another equip spell, which is pretty nice because the only thing about these is they have to be specifically equipped with a Plunder Patrol, which does kind of stink with a Plunder Patrol card. Yeah. So, just because like they both utilize equip spells, like equip cards, like the fact that Plum Trolls need to have Plum Trolls as equips, I don't know, like it's still kind of like not exactly the way you want, but like I guess that's more of the fault of the Plum Troll than anything. I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, anyway, Infernoble Knights are like probably gonna be the better of the two this time. They're probably gonna kind of outshine the Plum Trolls in my opinion, because I think like Infernobles are just like a better deck, a better archetype. And also like Two Tails. Actually, Two Tails works pretty well with the Plum Troll equips that are in the deck. Because it can also send the emblem along with like the other equips that are on the deck. So there's that. So it's kind of good since you have like now two different uses for the emblem, not just like if you no longer need the emblem, like you have another use for it, or if it's like stuck in your deck, you have another use for it. Like if it's in your hand, you have a use for it, and if it's stuck in your deck, you have a use for it because it's sold. Yeah. So yeah, probably one of your, and then Squeak Knight is a really good card. I remember this being a really good card because like once like this is equipped to a monster, you can like then special summon it, and it can be treated as a tuner, so it allows you to go into some of the synchro plays, and it works really well with Sublimation Knight, which allows you to equip a Fire Warrior straight from your deck. I don't think you have any Gemini's. The Fire Warrior is like what matters, and this just so happens to be a Fire Warrior. So yeah, that's good. It's one of the combos you can do. And then the equip cards, like there to like give you some extra equip cards to make sure you have like fodder to send off the Isolde, while also being pretty nice anyway. Like the DDR helps get back your banished monsters. The Moonmere Shield helps to make sure you're able to destroy stuff in battle, like even when attack is higher. Living Fossil helps you special summon things from the graveyard. Your lower level monsters to like go into your X deck monsters. And then this one allows you to search for one of your higher level monsters that has Fire Warrior. And this one lets you basically double attack, which is pretty nice. And this one allows you to recur a monster from your graveyard, one of your 5 warriors. So yeah, pretty good. And then these and then basically the Infernobles are about trying to get out materials as fast as possible. Like a lot of these have like different like kinds of special summon effects. Again with a 2-card combo here, which allows you to go straight into his soul, yeah, etc. This just mills you one of your Noble Arms or 5 warrior cards, which isn't bad because a few of them have like graveyard effects. Yeah. Anyway, and then this can like shuffle back 3 of your 5 warrior cards in case maybe like you need them back into your deck, and even draws your cards bonus. And it also has a graveyard effect as well, kind of like similar graveyard effect to Oliver. And this guy's really nice. Oh, okay. So this actually kind of has synergy with the Plum Trolls, because if an equipped card becomes equipped to a monster on the field, you get to destroy a card on the field. So if you equip something to a Plum Troll, you still get to activate the effect. So that's kind of nice. Yeah. Oh yeah, and I guess like since you are gonna have equip cards, like that like helps to ensure you have a few extra face-up cards to also be able to. Well, no, you want to like destroy the opponent's card. Opponent's cards. Anyway. And this one is also another reason why you want to be having equip cards in your equip spells in your deck, because this can add you a warrior by setting an equip spell, which is pretty nice actually. So yeah. And then I have one more to go through, and then I'll do the pack opening. Okay, DD Warrior. Okay, so this is called Pirates on an Interdimensional Voyage. Wow, so 2 warrior-based strategies, basically. Although I think there's only one non-Plum Troll monster in this deck. The deck aims to utilize the level 8 Synchro Monster Angel of Zera, which increases attack based on opponent's sum of banished cards, and can easily be sync summoned using Plum Troll monsters. By discarding Plum Troll monsters in your hand to activate Dark Core, you may be able to utilize the effects of that Plum Troll monster. Keep banishing more and more cards from the opponent's deck while staying on the offense. So this deck is basically all about wanting to banish the non-Plum Troll strategy is all about wanting to banish the opponent's stuff in order to be like giving Angel of Zera a little bit extra attack. And what's nice is that Soul Release can also banish the Angel of Zera from your graveyard, and as long as it was summoned out properly, you'll be able to get it back by like since it was banished, because it doesn't matter if it was like banished from the field or banished from the graveyard as long as it was summoned out properly first. And then, I mean, Dark Core can technically also banish the Zera, but I think there's less reason to do it for something like that. Though the synergy with Soul Release plus and the Zera is kind of interesting. Oh yeah, and also Big Bang Shot is kind of nice to equip to Angel of Zera, because it banishes the monster, but that's actually a good thing for Angel of Zera, because it will also trigger its spell summon effect as long as it was spell summon out sync summon properly first. Yeah, and then Cosmic. Yeah, so like a lot of like cards to banish, and a few cards like help make sure you're getting the Angel of Zera back so that you can like once again gain like his benefit for like banishing cards. Of course, this is my opponent's deck, just remember that. Oh yeah, I remember Karma Cut was kind of annoying. I think I remember Karma Cut being kind of annoying. And it's also kind of nice because it could potentially banish quite a few cards, like multiple. So yeah. And the whole banishing thing kind of works with Plum Trolls, because a few of these Plum Trolls also banish cards as well. Like this one banishes an effect. This one, pretty sure this. Oh, that just negates and destroys. It doesn't actually banish it. Oh, I think the Synchro also banishes, but yeah, I'm not even playing. My opponent's not even playing the Synchro in this deck. Anyway, I don't know if any of the other Plum Trolls, so it might be just that like Exceed that like really banishes, but that's still pretty good because it can like as long as you're able to get the cycle going, you can like continuously like banish cards. Like as long as you can like make sure you keep being able to add Plum Troll spells or traps, you can keep the flow going and keep banishing stuff. So yeah, there's kind of like a little bit of extra synergy. So yeah, I'm kind of thinking like maybe the deeper you go, like the more synergistic these two archetypes become. I don't know. Anyway. And then number 80 is also another one that can ban stuff. DD Warrior Lady, also pretty cool because it was like good back in the day, in case if anyone remembers that. But also works for the banishing. It's a little slow nowadays though, because you actually have to like banish, battle something. And there's probably better ways to get rid of the opponent's stuff. Although it does work pretty well with the banishing. Oh, and Dark Core also has another benefit if you send Plunder Patrol off of this card. I didn't even think about that. Because yeah, like because a few of these cards have like effects when they're sent from the hand to the graveyard. So it also works for that. And the Karma Cut also works for that as well. So yeah, a little bit of synergy even there. And then the Plum Troll, this one, they're playing the fusion, so they're going to play the fusion spell, which makes sense. And the fusion spell also has a pretty good graveyard effect as well. They would have to choose to equip a Plum Troll monster because they're not actually running the emblem. That's okay. Okay, so yeah, that's all of them. And now I'll go through a pack opening. At least this time, like it won't this time it won't go on nearly as long. Like in fact, like the last time it went on so long that like I had to like do quite a bit of editing just to like in order to be able to like make the two videos fit. And then after I made the two videos like fit so where I could show the majority of both, like I had to do a little bit of editing even after that just to get it below 80, just to get below 60 minutes, because that's a limit of time you can have for a total project on Share Factory. But I was able to do it. I still need to like add the finishing touches to it though. So I'll try to get that done too. I'll be able to get that done at some point. Anyway, Man Throw Tro. Dark Mimic level 3. Searchlight Man. Archfiend Commander. Tool. Magician Circle is actually not bad. The Kickman. Dawnbreak Gardener. Plasma Ball. Sea Lancer. Hayate the Ursar. Kaganingen. Lord of Zemia. Al Insection. Wing Weaver. Double of that. Archfiend Soldier. Umiruka. Burning Land. Mind Trust. Yeah, I think even if it wasn't new, I think I would still give the reward to Magician Circle this time. Because I like it. Like, it also special summons a monster from the deck. Like, if you're running, like, just, like, be running, like, make sure you have targets. And I think most of the time, since spellclasses aren't the most popular typing, like, most of the time it'll just be, like, a one-sided thing. I guess it is a little slow, but at least it can be searched off of Trap Trick, which is kind of nice. And it may be, it's only when a spellcaster monster, so if your opponent's not playing a spellcaster deck, you'll have to trigger it yourself. But you can always wait and search it out via Trap Trick when it's your turn. But then, like, or like just like activate Trap Trick and then search it out on the opponent's end phase. So, like, I still feel like it's got some merit, being a normal trap, being able to special summon something from the deck, and 2000 last still, like, gives you a lot of options. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go into the outro now. Thank you to everyone who stayed for the pack opening, and maybe you can pass it along that I also would like to thank everyone who stayed for the duels, and I would like to give a big thank you to everyone who stayed for both, who stayed for the whole video. Maybe all except for the outro, or maybe you did also stay for the outro, but either way, thank you so much. And now I'll be getting into the outro. If you'd like to take one last look at the pack opening and say what your favorite card is, feel free. But I'm going into the outro now in 3, 2, 1. Please like, share, and subscribe, and consider ringing that notification bell for regular content. You can either ring the notification bell to be notified of all my videos, or personalized by simply clicking the notification bell and selecting all or personalized. All is being notified about all my videos, whether you watch them or not, and personalized is being notified of the videos that you watch the most. Also, if you would like to leave a comment, that would be greatly appreciated. You can leave a comment about anything, either pertaining to the video, pertaining to the verse I leave in the description, or just something random if you'd like. Just please keep it appropriate. You can even leave an emote if you would like, but just be aware that it may lock you out if you paste too many of the same emote in a day. Just in case, like, if you decide one day you just paste emotes on a whole bunch of my videos, just keep that in mind. Usually you can fix that by either going with a different emote or by posting multiples of that emote instead of just the one. And thank you everyone who do watch my videos, and a big thanks to those who do watch all of my videos, but still thank you to everyone who only watches a couple once in a while, or just watches one of the games. I understand how it is no matter how you do it. It's just appreciated no matter what, no matter how you decide to go about viewing my videos.